Park and Recreation meeting for June 25th, 5 o'clock. And, and I will hit this. Meeting is to order. Rebecca, would you please call the roll?
Davis.
Here.
Sayers.
Here.
Bacto.
Here.
Bogus.
Here.
Nassib.
Here.
Thompson.
Here.
Woodard.
Here.
Pollard.
Here.
Hugh.
Here.
Cantor.
Here.
Anderson.
Here.
Lohmeyer.
Here.
We have a quorum, and we'll move right along because we have several people that have other obligations this evening and other appointments to go to. So let's look at the agenda, and any discussion on the agenda? If not, we'll need a motion to approve.
Motion.
Second.
In favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Agenda as stated. Minutes from the May 28th Park and Recreation Board meeting. Did anyone have a chance or any questions regarding the minutes that you wanted to review or talk about?
I'll make a motion to approve.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Minutes are approved. That takes us right into board action. So we will start with chapter 74. Ben?
The only thing I would draw your attention to as board members from the last meeting would be clarification on language regarding 74-103. If you're looking at the communication that summarizes, it's on page 5 of 8. What we talked about last time that we heard from review of this group was from changing the previous ordinance language, which had several different criteria that would be reviewed to allow signage, to a simpler language that basically does not allow non-city signs to be in parks. So again, that's just clarifying that parks will reserve the right for permanent signage for city signage. That doesn't stop us from helping a special event. Let's say, like recently, we had the Beaverdale Bluegrass Festival that wanted to come into Tower. If they want to put in a temporary A-frame or a realty sign to announce their event the week ahead of it, we'll still be able to do that. This is permanent monument signage type of things and permanent signs, so technically stop signs and all the different things that happen in the right-of-way can still be there for city traffic reasons, but park signs would be the only signs within the interior of the park.
And remember, that was in our discussion, that was specific to neighborhoods also that are not allowed to have, neighborhood associations, I should say, are not allowed, but has been stated if they had a special thing coming up, they could, through him, get approval. Now, I'm questioning, what is the best way to do this? Should we vote on each change rather than wait till the end on it, or?
Well, so far, there's no changes because we've updated the communication
Okay.
and the ordinances. So now if you have changes, typically what we've done like this is staff will record any change that makes the final motion that's approved by this board. Then Ann and I and Richard will update the ordinance language. We'll send it back out to you, but you won't review it anymore. You'll just see that we've done what you've asked us to do. It will move on to city council then after that. Is that fair?
Very fair. There's a lot of work involved here from staff and obviously from Park Board, as each member's probably spent a lot of time reviewing these and a lot of time reviewing these. So I guess we can just start at the front and take this page by page and see if anyone has any comments or specific to, and when you do have a comment or a section specific to, please give the page number and then you can give the section number, which will help us move along a little quicker. So anything? I had one. I'll start on page 5.
Are you talking about the draft or the communication we just got?
Let's use the draft ordinance.
draft.
So that way we can record exactly what we hear.
On page 5, and if we go down to section 6, in the red it says,
7492, consumption of alcohol. Okay.
and then of course they allow this during adult events at, county or the softball fields, county soccer, the baseball parks, Greater Des Moines softball, sports complex, and then it goes on to say, consumption is allowed on the fields at James County Park, and it says Savage Softball Complex. Additionally, it should also say Greater Des Moines Softball Complex, And what that is if it's an adult event, but you have youth programs out on the other fields, for example, we can take the Menace would be playing at, I'll use soccer. The Menace would be playing, say, on field 9, which is close to the concession area, but yet there might be some youth games finishing up out on fields 1 and 2. You would still be allowed to sell alcohol on that. So the addition would be Greater Des Moines Softball Complex.
I think that's just a staff oversight, and that should be in there. We do have an example at softball. I'll use that one. We've had women's and co-ed youth softball tournaments out at the softball complex on 2 fields, while we've had adults playing on the other 2 fields. So just an oversight. We can add that in there very easily.
That's just it, yeah, because there was an omission there of Greater Des Moines Softball. Any questions on that or any comments?
It's the same. They just crosses right.
Will it just be beer, or will it be wine and beer, or?
It's a class, I think they have a Class B, which is a beer, most of them have Class B beer permits, which is beer, and I think in their Class B, it's also a wine cooler, but not hard alcohol. That's a different, I think it's Class B at your athletic facilities, isn't it, which is
pretty
just
confident that's right.
beer and wine cooler, but not hard drinks.
Not mixed drinks.
Okay? Now jump in. I want to clarify on page 12, which is section 74-106, baseballs. And I don't think, it just says in there, and this is a good rule, that no one shall throw, hit, or play with a baseball in any city park except unless it's designated basically as a baseball park, because a lot of parks, you know, are softball, and they even have the softball backstop and, you know, for neighborhood kids and play, but baseball, which is a much different game and a harder trajectory and stuff. So I think this clarifies the baseball versus softball in the park. Am I wrong on that? Questions?
Correct?
Okay. Then, I don't want to dominate this, so I mean, you guys, this is, you can tell I did my homework. Now, on page 13.
Can I back up here?
Yeah.
Can you hit like a wiffle ball, golf ball to practice
Yeah,
in a
wiffle
park?
ball. Not
That's-
golf ball, but wiffle ball, yeah.
Well, I mean,
the
but,
wiffle ball version of a golf ball.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
you
That
could.
would be okay.
Oh,
Yes.
absolutely.
Okay.
It's just due to
Tennis
the
ball or
density of the
anything.
ball and the speed of the ball coming off. It's not safe in a non-designed facility. Yep.
Now, Ben, on page 13, section C, page 13, section C, okay, and that addresses the changing of clothes in the park, and it must be in a shelter or basically, you know, a restroom, or Ben wants to add something.
No, I was wondering if we should add that they must wear clothes while using their swimming pools. And then you laugh, but this has come up. Something I'm proud to say on TV, but it's up to the board.
Do
Well,
we think
we're
it's
readdressing the-
needed?
Huh?
If it's needed, then
Sadly so.
It is needed?
sure.
It can fall within our rules too, but I think it's important to clarify that these are public facilities that are family friendly, and swimming attire is required.
I think that's.
Wouldn't hurt to add it.
Have you had anyone try to not wear clothes?
We've had that, yes.
You have?
Well, they've attempted to.
Well, then maybe we should put it in there.
What would the sentence sound like, Ben? Or is it just,
They must wear
You must-
appropriate swimming attire.
I think we should add it. Somebody will
Are
use
there
it.
not
just
other
sure.
ordinances that deal with just indecent exposure generally?
Yes, that'd be another
Can't hear you,
item.
Bill, would you please
So
talk
Are
about
there other,
Item in here.
are there not other ordinances that deal with
That's a good
indecent
question.
exposure?
Are there other ordinances that deal with indecent exposure in the city?
No. Not that would say that you cannot be nude at a pool. You know, under state law, the nudity ordinances have to do with your intention and actions, and if you're in a establishment licensed for liquor, or what your intention is, or if you're a waitress or waiter at those events. So there's nothing that I could find specifically that says just being nude in public is that act alone is prohibited.
I don't think we should have must wear swimming attire. Must wear, cannot be nude would cover it, because, a lot of people might just wear cutoffs, which is not swimming attire.
Well, that's against our rules
Well,
already
you
today.
can't in
So-
schools,
Oh, it
yeah.
is?
'Cause-
Yeah, you must wear, today you have to wear,
Okay.
it says in the rules, but the rules aren't backed by ordinance language.
Okay. Well, is it
So-
something that we
Yeah,
need
it
to
makes
add?
sense.
Add swimming attire.
We're looking
Yeah,
at
I
the
think
beaches,
so,
item,
add it.
so does this need to be more in a general space to cover anything other than beaches? Because now you're,
I like your term, how you brought in cover at beaches together.
We can just, the heading 74-112 would become beaches and pools, or beaches and aquatic facilities.
doesn't it cover parks as well?
parks and...
Yeah,
There should be a general.
any city
In the
park,
general? Okay.
probably, right?
How about if we let Ann find the best spot for it in general?
So my understanding is that you would want nudity prohibited in the parks, including swimming pools, recreational facilities, sports facilities. So would a diaper on an 18-month-old child be okay?
Yeah, absolutely.
There's swim diapers.
So
we
that
approve.
wouldn't be nudity, we would.
Right.
Yeah,
All right.
good.
Sounds good.
So are
Go
we
ahead.
saying that there's no ordinance in the city at all?
Not that I can find.
Well, you better hurry up and get one in there.
Seems like we need to talk to Joe tonight.
Well, there's a concert this weekend, Jim, if you want.
Yes.
I won't be there.
Well, that is a facility that might have a liquor license, so you should be aware of that. There are rules for nudity in
Yep.
those circumstances,
Yep.
so.
Okay.
Okay, on page 14, I just had a question for clarity regarding the photographs. Now, does this include, is this worded in such a way that this would not include a student taking a graduation picture?
Correct.
Okay,
No fee for that.
okay. And then are we okay with, with drones? Are we able to control drones in parks?
Today, we actually considered some drone language. However, after all the research that we completed to make this whole document work, FAA regulates drones enough, we believe. So until we have a problem, we figured today there's 0 complaints and problems with drones, and we figured let it go until there's a problem, then we can react to that.
Okay. Brings us up to the smoking issue. Some of you had some concerns and questions on that. What's the matter, Jim?
Nothing.
Any questions on the smoking issue?
The only question I have is why does it not apply to Botanical Garden Zoo and Principal Park?
Because they're operated with exclusive management agreements already in place. They make their own rules now.
Okay.
So we had to vacate them as parkland as part of this to clean up some of this language when it used to be a park specific. Now it's still city land at the end of the lease, but it's not dedicated parkland anymore.
Okay. Yeah, just so we're consistent.
Yep.
If it's park, it needs,
Yep. Now,
No
Principal Park is already smoke-free that I know of. I haven't looked at the other two, but Principal Park is a smoke-free area. The other two, I believe, are working on that, so,
Is vaping a lighted smoking equipment? Or is
Yes.
that different?
nope, it falls underneath the
they've got
electronic
vape
cigarettes.
pens.
Yep.
e-hookahs,
Oh, thank you.
everything's covered.
Yep.
Oh, geez Louise.
Everything's covered.
Yeah, thank you.
Good questions.
I think my comment has been, I just want to be consistent.
Me too.
I don't think it's good to put the ordinance in there and then make exceptions and then say it's based on wellness when, sometimes that's not actually the case. Like, go inside to smoke at Prairie Meadows instead of outside. So I feel like if you're going to do it, do it.
Yep. That's the same philosophy we had as staff, so thank you.
And I think the police chief covered that too. It'll be a low enforcement issue, however, and we understand that, but I think it's a statement that staff is making and park board is making based on, good health, actually.
Yep.
Okay, no more, any more comments on that? I'm sorry. Okay, let's go to page 20. Number 1 up there, tournament field rentals, and that has to include Savage Park, I think. That's been omitted.
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay.
That's a good catch. Number 1 on page 20 up here. Field the day at Greater Des Moines Park, hands.
Then I want to drop down to under C, 54 under C. Do you need that old information in there from 2014, 2015? I'll wait till you get down there.
Sorry, what was
Right
that?
down here on C, Ben.
Yep.
Do you need that old information, 2014, 2015, all that, or is that?
You know, the reason that we showed it like that was because that's how we showed it to all the different user groups at soccer to show them. So when we update it, we can keep that for them historically. One of the things I'm trying to do as we've started, as I became the director, was to keep a side spreadsheet that shows you, because you asked a good question, when's the last time we updated these fees? That way you can see, maybe the 3% wasn't warranted that staff's asking you to do because you just touched that 3% last year. So that's what we're trying to do as we move forward with these fees.
Okay. Ben, go ahead. Any questions, comments there? Then we're jumping to 22, page 22, 23. We'll need some help from basically golf committee, I think it is. Are there any questions on this?
Remember on golf fees, they just came to you
Right.
last fall, so those have been updated. That's why we didn't touch them. And we'll wait again at the end of the season to have the golf committee, if there's any that are proposed. That's how the contract works, is our management company, C Corporation, will propose any changes, then it runs through golf committee, then park board. But those are fairly updated fees right there.
Okay. That was the only thing that I could pick up that I had questions, and people approached me with questions on. Now, what else do we have? This is a pretty thorough document, but moving forward, I want us to, be very thorough, and when we vote this in, this isn't for a year, this is,
On page 31, we have the Riverview Park
okay?
per day fee.
Just a minute, please.
Yep.
In the
Okay.
communication, it said 3,500 and 74,187. Section 2, it says 4,000. So I just want to make
It
sure
needs
we're
to be 4,000,
consistent.
so thank you, good catch on that. Whatever is in the big document is what's the record, so
Okay.
thank you for catching that. If you remember last time, at the very beginning, we had this discussion about the road use and everything else, so we had a $500 separate fee. I didn't want to have what I call convenience fees, tack-on fees, just to give them one fee to see, so good catch. The communication, this fee is correct.
Okay.
So, page 32, and maybe this is covered someplace else and I missed it, but with the mobile food vendors, we're talking about item B, I guess, the designated parking spots. But if there's an event at the park, and so like multiple vendors want to be there, I'm
Yep.
thinking like the Star Party.
Yep, that's in here, I gotta look it up, but I can approve special events to
Yeah.
allow more than two.
More than those spaces,
And in
okay.
other spaces, yes.
Okay, I thought it probably was, but I don't
Same
remember
here.
seeing it. Okay, thank you.
Nope, good question.
And Ben, those are the only 7 parks that vendors are allowed in at this
To
time?
use, as long as they get a permit.
Okay.
Yep.
Did everyone hear that? And Ben can give a special permission to?
Yes, those 7 parks are the only ones they can use with the annual permit to be in the parks during 7 months-ish. Now, what Board Member Ballard asked is, what if we have a special event, we want to bring in more than 2? That is something that I can permit as the director, not only for our events, but let's use the Bluegrass Festival at Beaver Dale again. If they came to us and said, hey, we want to bring in 10, it says it's not listed here, I can permit it for a short-term, one-time use per event.
And I guess, the other one that jumps out is on page 33, go down to the bottom. That number 15 dash 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 dash.
That's our secret code.
Okay.
That is. And you have to ask Ann, she's making a note here. That is what is the 15
We're just
dash?
teasing.
Oh, you know what, after the ordinance gets passed by council, it gets assigned a number then.
There you go,
So
good
this
question.
is just a placeholder until that happens.
That's why I asked that question. I'll tell you what, your staff did a lot of work on this.
And Ann as well.
And Ann, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to disclude you, but yeah, absolutely, this is quite a document. Okay, starting down here, comments, anyone?
I'm very comfortable with what we've talked about this evening and what we talked about the last meeting, and I'm comfortable with all the changes. It was a lot of work went into this, but
Okay.
great job.
Bill, anything?
It looks good.
Okay.
Looks great, yes.
Good.
Bill?
Good. Thanks, staff.
Anyone? Sam?
Everything's fine with me.
No, thank you.
Okay. Well, then I think that we will call for the vote with a motion to, I need a motion.
Make a motion
I'll second.
yep,
That we approve chapter 74.
with
and
the changes to 5, 11, 13. Do you need that? Nope, you have it all.
Just subject to the changes by the board.
It's subject to the changes that we
Yep, by the
advised
board.
tonight. Okay. Rebecca, would you please call the vote?
Davis,
Yes.
Sayers,
Yes.
Pacto,
Yes.
August.
Yes.
Bassett.
Yes.
Thompson,
Yes.
Woodard,
Yes.
Fowler,
Yes.
Lohmeyer, Hugh,
Yes.
Cantor,
Yes.
Anderson.
Yes.
Okay. Sounds great.
Just a procedural update is there's only one city council meeting in July because of the way the calendar falls. It's July 15th. This can take up to 3 readings. So anybody wants to join us, I'm guessing it's a long council meeting just because there's only one in July. But we will not ask to waive the readings, but we might ask after the first meeting, when we go back to the first time in August, to waive the final reading at the second reading, because there's 3, because of all the great public input we've had already. So I'll keep you posted, but we would sure appreciate anybody that wants to be in attendance with us that night, be there. And I usually let the council know if we're going to have 1 or 2 or 3 of you there so they can recognize you and thank you for your good work, but also be there to answer questions if you want to answer questions.
Which council meeting is this?
July 15th, what I'll do is I'll ask Rebecca to send out the link to the council agendas when they come out. Those days, it comes out the Thursday before, late afternoon, like 4 o'clock almost. So we'll send that out so you guys can see where it's at in the agenda if you're interested.
Will we
It's
get
on
a?
that night, so it's gonna be a long,
The
what
long
is?
one,
What's on?
Franklin Junior High is
Oh.
on that for its
but it
second
passed
meeting.
last night, so
Will we get a revised copy of this
yeah,
report?
well, with Ann's changes.
Yeah, with the
Yes.
changes
Yeah,
that we.
we'll send it to you.
Okay, and that'll be corrected with in red, or will it just be in black now?
We can give it to you in both ways. We will do it in red and black for the council, red to show the changes to the council, and then black so they could just read it through without seeing the changes, just seeing it as it will be after adoption.
Okay,
You can have that version, both versions also if you would like.
okay. Well, it's up to, make it available, please, and then everyone. I really appreciate everyone going through this, because this was like a 11th grade homework assignment.
Well, not to get you too excited, but chapter 34 comes next month, and it's a lot more difficult to read through than this even. So stay tuned. We'll get to do one more time.
Okay. Okay, well, we've taken did we take the roll? We took the roll. We're going on to part B, which is the election of board officers, and I think you all have that in your packet. And we'll need any discussion on this, we'll need a motion.
I'll move the board to elections slate presented.
Second?
Second.
Rebecca, would you please call the roll?
Davis,
Yes.
Sayers,
Yes.
Pacto.
Yes.
August.
Yes.
Bassett,
Yes.
Thompson.
Yes.
Woodard.
Yes.
Yes.
Lohmeyer,
Yes.
Hugh,
Yes.
Cantor,
Yes.
Anderson.
Yes.
Motion passes, or action passes. And we're done with board action, and I know some of you had to go to another appointment, so it's just as based on presentation. So if you have to leave, now would be a good time, and thank you for coming. Yes, she's gone. Okay.
She actually has to run in an event,
Yeah.
so she's running to run. So,
Okay, Ben?
all right. First up, Matt will introduce our newest team member, and he'll give you a Evelyn K. Davis programming overview, which is we're right in the middle of it right now.
Chair Davis, members of the Park and Recreation Board, Matt Kalsovich, Recreation Manager. It is my privilege to introduce one of the newest members of our Park and Recreation team, Amar Nagusi. As Ben mentioned, he is overseeing our E.K. Davis program, which many of you have heard of, but we wanted to bring some details to you about that tonight and just bring you up to speed on some of the things that Amar has been doing. He's made a tremendous initial impression on the community and definitely put his stamp on the program. So I'd like to invite him up at this time to share those details with you.
Chair Davids and the board, distinguished members of the board, I just want to say what a pleasure it is for me to be here today and speak to you about this program. Evelyn K. Davis Park Programming. Adjust this up just a tad here. Evelyn K. Davis Park Programming provides recreation opportunities for the children of the community. All programs at Evelyn K. Davis Park are provided at no cost to the participants, thanks to the generosity of the Knapp Foundation and many of our other community partners. In 2008, there was an average of 28 children per day participating in the program. Thus far in 2019, the average is 55 children per day, which shows a commitment to growing this program and allowing the children of the community recreation opportunities that they might not have otherwise. The Summer Fun and Enrichment Program. This program is offered daily, June 10th through August 16th. It's a Monday through Friday program, and we run from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Activities are planned daily by staff. They include sports, arts and craft, educational exercises, and STEM activities. We also provide lunch and nutritional snacks daily. And in the pictures you see some of our activities that we have going. We partner with a lot of our staff here. That is Joel, our environmental educational specialist, and he's taking the children through a program called Wildlife Explorers, which teaches them to explore the park and our green spaces just to give them a better appreciation of what they have. This year we are including sports clinics. We have 5 sports clinics that are available: basketball, baseball, football, tennis, and soccer. These clinics focus on the fundamental skills, physical and mental conditioning, champion and character principles. We also partner with local coaches and athletes to provide instruction. All clinics are held at Evelyn K. Davis Park, with the exception of tennis, which is held at Birdland Park. We just had our football clinic today with the Iowa Barnstormers providing instruction. We also had our soccer clinic this previous week, and we look forward to the rest of our clinics throughout the summer. We are seeing exceptional participation in these clinics for the children. Teaching the community how to swim. We also provide free swim lessons. We currently have a full class of 30 level 1 swimmers, which are beginners registered. Our classes this year are at Teach Out Aquatic Center, and they run from July 8th to July 12th. We chose Teach Out Aquatic Center over Birdland, which is closer to us, because they have a zero-depth pool, which allows easier training for children who don't have the experience of swimming. Under the lights. With the addition of permanent lighting on the Evelyn K. Davis basketball court, we are able to offer 2 evening programs this year. We have street futsal on Tuesday nights. We also have Summer City Hoops on Thursdays. The goal of these programs is to provide a diverse recreational offering for our community. And the picture you see in front of you is our inaugural street futsal group on Tuesday night, which is a very popular program. So we hope to just continue to grow these programs and provide those offerings.
Can I ask a question?
Absolutely.
I don't know what futsal is.
Can I be honest with you? I didn't know what futsal was either until probably about 3 weeks ago. Futsal is basketball played on a soccer court. Soccer played on a basketball court. It's a street version of soccer. It's very popular in Latin America, where they have a lot of basketball courts that were put up, and people play soccer on them. So I actually had to YouTube what futsal was, and once I saw it and we saw the popularity of the program, we decided to run with it, and we are seeing great turnout for that program. I think we had about 25 people on our initial evening, which was last Tuesday, and we're expecting another large crowd tonight. So.
Yeah, I had
Go ahead.
we had some futsal leagues when I taught in Des Moines, and it was really popular. It's great. It's fun.
Yeah, and
do
you
it
know,
year round.
it's one of those games that everybody can play. I even played last Tuesday, which was a shock to me because, but it's a very fun program for people to join in on. Community partnerships. Our connection to the community drives the success of our programming. Our generous partners include Nat Properties, the Greater Des Moines Community Foundation, Des Moines Public Schools, the Des Moines Police Department, Forest Avenue Library, the After School Art Program, and the King Irving Neighborhood Association. The picture you see before you was from our Safe Summer Kickoff that we had just earlier this month. We had over 300 children in the park to celebrate the beginning of a safe summer. Evelyn K. Davis. We are working hard to meet the lofty goals that Ms. Davis set for us during her lifetime of service. We still hold true to her mission of being a champion for children and will continue to focus our efforts in this direction moving forward. Thank you for your time. I appreciate being here. And at this point in time, if you have any questions, I'd be love to answer some.
As you can see, Omar has been on the job how long?
A little over a month now.
Over a month, and he's already literally dove in. He's actually, within the first few days, canvassed the neighborhood like a politician might. He walked door to door to tell everybody about his programs for how many square blocks, probably 3 or 4 around the facility.
I spent some good number of days just walking around, talking to people in the community, seeing what they wanted, seeing what they thought of the park, and just kind of programs that they wanted to see coming up. So I did, knocking on doors and meeting people in the community was one of the first things I wanted to do when we came in here, because we feel like that strong connection that the community has to the park will only keep it safe and vibrant.
Off to a great start.
Great. That's good.
You're going to be a success, because I will tell you, when you were explaining something to me, the first time I met you, you just give out excitement. You're a good person for this job, and I mean that.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much. We hope to just continue our success moving forward and keep planning great programs for the community and do big things at Evelyn K. Davis.
And don't forget, the park board would like to be involved on a team event against another team in something.
Well, I tell you what, come out and play futsal on Tuesday nights. It's a 5-on-5 game, and we can get a good group going. So I'm pretty sure we'll win a couple of them. So.
Thanks, Coach.
All right.
Good job.
Thank you very much. I appreciate everything. My pleasure to be here. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, next up is, it's been a while, but we have a Did You Know on Brook Run Park.
Chair Davis, members of the Park and Recreation Board, Matt Kalsevich, Recreation Manager. Thank you for this opportunity to share information with you this evening about Brook Run Park. Brook Run Park is located at 4901 East Douglas Avenue. The map I chose to use tonight to show you the location of the park is actually the map you would see when pulling it up on our new City Parks and Rec webpage. I've left a couple of indicators in there to give you the exact location. You can see Hubble and 4 Mile Creek in the upper left corner, 65 in the upper right corner, and then the next closest city park, Sheridan Park, where we just opened our new spray ground, in the lower left corner. And the park is on the south side of Douglas, just across from the Capitol Heights neighborhood. Zooming in a little, you see that the park is located closest to the west entrance of the Brook Run Village neighborhood, and there are actually 2 access points leading into the park from the neighborhood. I'll show you those here in just a moment in another slide. Some of the details about the park. Brook Run Park is located on a 5-acre parcel of land. In 1998, development of Brook Run Village begins, and in 2004, the park is built to support the neighborhood. In the lower part of the screen, you can see an article, and a special thanks to our department's good friend and super volunteer Steve Nelson Vox for providing me a lot of the information on for this location in particular. Obviously, he's given us a lot of information over the years about some of our historical parks, but he's able to provide information on some of these newer locations as well. Great part about this article, it references the Park and Recreation Board and the support of this effort to add Brook Run Park to the inventory, lists the cost of approximately about $160,000, and the amenities mentioned in the article are some that are obviously still part of the park today. These are those two access points from the neighborhood. I'm actually a resident of the Brook Run neighborhood myself. And one of the things I love about these access points, the one on your left from the east side of the neighborhood and the one on your right from the south, is that they're a long lead up into the park, and it actually feels like the park is somewhat isolated or secluded from the neighborhood, where maybe it's located in a larger natural area. So I think that's one of the unique features of this neighborhood park, that it's tucked away in a position where you don't necessarily feel like you're amongst the houses in the neighborhood. Some of those park amenities include our open air shelter, the picture at the top, as well as a playground, the picture below. We have picnic tables, benches, off-street parking, and as many of you know, not all of our parks have that, but this location being off of Douglas or 38th is a very busy street, so it helps with the safety aspect of people coming to access the park in that way. And we also have a portable restroom. One of the other things we like to do with the resources we have, and one is this historical mapping, is show you the evolution of the area, and I picked 3 time frames to highlight the growth of this part of the city in particular. The star indicates the approximate location of the Brook Run Park, and you can see Hubble and 65 and 42nd as some indicators of, again, the space in this part of the city, and really not a lot of development around that area at the time. Jumping ahead to the 70s, you can see a lot of the development that's popped up around this location. Nothing at this time specifically around the park, but the Capitol Heights neighborhood, Sheridan Gardens neighborhood, and some others that have grown and evolved between the time frames that I just showed. And then obviously today, the way things have really filled in that area, and the Brook Run neighborhood specifically to the south and east of the star there, indicating the location of the park. And certainly happy to support this entire area in addition to the Brook Run neighborhood. To give you a little bit more of the history of the land, in the 1850s, the land was originally surveyed and open to settlement with no claims. That's very consistent with the theme of the time, where this location would have been considered maybe too far away from the downtown and where a lot of the settlement was happening at that time. But in the 1870s, Eliza Fisher owned a quarter section, and on that plat map you see there from 1902, her name is mentioned, and that's actually the location where the parkland is located today. In 1892, Cyrus Kirk, and you can see a picture of Mr. Kirk on the right-hand side, head of Equitable Life Insurance, purchased the land from Miss Fisher, and in 1943, the Henlon family receives the land from the Kirk estate. In 1951, Helen and Earl Travis acquired the land. The article on the right-hand side actually indicates the gifting of the land from Mr. Travis, who passed away, and the estate being given to Helen. And in 1986, Gloria Howe was given the land by her mother, Helen. In 1994, Iowa Realty buys the land for the essentially what is the Brook Run Village neighborhood now from Gloria and Dwayne Howe for that total of $530,000. And again, the plat map there from 1914 shows Mr. Kirk's name on what is the majority of that space that encompasses the neighborhood today. One of the other things that I wanted to point out, and again, being a resident there in Brook Run, I've been made privy to some of this information as a homeowner, but some of this information has come to our department as well. There are several future developments coming in directly around the Brook Run neighborhood, and one of the things that we'll keep an eye on and we'll continue to evaluate are some of the use patterns at the park, and we certainly want to keep it in the best shape possible. We're excited that these other neighborhoods being added will have access to the park through the Brook Run neighborhood. The first is Brook Landing, located just to the east of Brook Run. That's approximately 184 single-family homes. I've circled that there in gold. Just to the south is the Ruby Rose Ridge neighborhood and approximately 93 family homes. And then connected to that, so again, all of this touching Brook Run in the end, once fully developed, the woods of Copper Creek have over 220 single-family spaces. So really probably doubling the amount of people or single-family homes that will have direct access through the neighborhood, either via street or sidewalk to Brook Run Park. So very excited to have this be part of what people moving into this area will have access to, but we'll definitely have to keep an eye on some of the growing use there and how patterns may change with the increased volume. I'll leave you with this image of the park. Again, one that I think is unique in our system as far as neighborhood parks are concerned. I will mention that this is actually a stop on our Tour DM Parks that you'll hear more about here shortly. So we're excited to have people come and see this location and perhaps find the opportunity to experience more themselves. Thank you for this opportunity to share information with you tonight about Brook Run Park. I'd be happy to try and answer any of the questions you have at this time.
Well, Matt, as usual, very good. Thank you.
Thank you.
My pleasure. Thank you.
All right, our last report is just backed by popular demand, the Tour DM Parks that was created by Jen from our team.
Chair Davis, members of the Park and Recreation Board, Jen Fletcher, Marketing Supervisor, and it is my esteemed pleasure to share with you our July promotion, which starts in less than a week for Park and Recreation Month. It's called Tour DM Parks. This is the 4th year we've done it. Visit 31 parks in 31 days. Oh, I have that wrong, darn it. I should know this by now. Sorry, 31 parks, 31 days, and you can win $1,000. Now, none of you can, but the general public can. So we encourage you to share it on your social media and remind people of all the great destinations we have on the tour this year. So this video that I'm about to show you will share the itinerary and other really cool ways you can win and participate. Alrighty, any questions?
I see Brook Run made it on there.
That was totally not planned.
I'm excited. I've never been to that, so I'm excited to go.
Okay, it's a cute little park.
Any other questions?
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
If you collect a coin.
Yes. So we're doing something really cool this year for the 125th anniversary. We're calling it the mini tour. And so the first 4 parks that we founded, Grandview, Greenwood, Union, and
Waveland.
Waveland, thought I said that already. Anyway, so you visit those 4 spots, and you don't have to visit the other 31, but if you visit those 4 and you use the hashtag mini tour, we'll give you a commemorative coin with the name of the 4 parks on it.
Cool.
And all of this is on our website in case I talked really, really fast, which I have a tendency to do. So for the big tour, Tour DM Parks 2019.
I think you're gonna make a quick change to the video, but we'll send the video back out when you make the
Yes.
update to it to
Yes.
the board, so you'll have all that. You can share it with your friends. Great.
All right, thanks.
Thank you. Very, very good. Thank you.
That's all we have.
Well, okay, we can move right along. The Urban Conservation Committee. Vicki, are you here?
I am.
Anything to report?
We spent most of the time, we just met last week, and it was primarily talking about the grand opening of Easter Lake this weekend. So unfortunately, the weather did not cooperate with us on that, but did anybody make it out there for the big opening? I was.
Yes, they did.
Jim Baller did.
Did it get some good
Yes, there was a lot.
participation?
There was a lot of people there. A lot of people there. It was very well done. They had a nice little program, ribbon cutting. It was very well done.
Very nice. Yeah, that's
Had
been a
great
labor of
speakers.
love for a long, long time.
Yes.
For sure.
Bill, golf committee?
Took off.
Well, good. I'll give that report. I have never golfed a game in my life, but I enjoy the heck out of driving that cart. That is fun. Okay, and Joel's not here for the cemetery committee, so Sarah, Jim?
We have not met.
Our meeting was canceled for June, so we have
August is our next scheduled meeting.
Yeah, August is our next one, but our June meeting was canceled, so.
We are at 47 minutes into this meeting.
I do have one question. Grays Lake with the rain on Saturday, has this done anything to change the schedule for reopening?
You know, we're going to be able to make that determination on Thursday at noon. I know that's late, but we're so close to saying that we're still on task for opening on the 29th, which is Saturday. We'll need every minute of Friday, but things right now are trending to say that we'll still open. However, our backup plan will be Wednesday. Was that the 3rd of July? Look at the calendar over there, I can tell. Yes. So if we need a few more days, we're going to try to go into just only a few more days. We did have some delays from rain. Thank you for asking. Lots of trails still closed. It's the year of the high water events.
Anything else?
I'll
Any
move to
announcements?
adjourn.
What'd you say?
Move to adjourn.
I knew you would. All those in favor?
Aye.
We are adjourned.